this is what we're dealing with. Got a little carbon heat shield instead of the normal aluminium one. Look at the size of that. So let's just go for a little ride and I'll tell you a little bit about my impressions of this Arrow silencer. So yeah, because obviously I didn't get a chance to hear the exhaust before deciding to buy it, I basically did only buy it for aesthetic reasons. I just thought it would look nicer, and it does, so I'm happy about that. But I have to say again, the ride out here this morning confirmed what I felt on the ride back from Almeria after having it fitted. An unexpected positive side effect of this Arrow silencer is that the engine now feels a lot smoother. I've done quite a bit of carb tuning in my time, swapping jets and trying to get mixtures right, and for me this bike has always felt to be running very lean. You particularly notice it on a hot day when the engine's hot at low revs. There's just a mild jerkiness. It's not extreme, but you can just sense it. So it's like a kind of mild hunting for fuel going on. So since we've had this silencer on the bike, it actually feels like the bike is running richer. So the engine just feels smoother, and it has a lot more low down power, mid-range power. It's just picking up cleaner when you let the revs drop. Now that manifested itself coming back from Almeria. There were some fast bends where I would normally drop down into 5th gear to have a decent pull on the exit, but coming back this time with this exhaust on, I found I was able to leave the bike in 6th gear, and as I picked up the throttle coming out of the bends, the engine just picked up really cleanly without any protest, without any of the mild lugging that I was getting before. And this morning it was even more noticeable. This is a road I've ridden many times, so I always ride it in the same way. And coming up this morning, where I would have previously been in 4th gear through the bends on this bike, I was actually leaving it in 5th today, and I was making smooth progress, and there were no issues whatsoever getting back on the throttle, coming out of the bends, it just feels fatter, more happy. That the engine just feels happier when you let the revs drop, and then you get back on the power. It's just there, you know. It's just got a bigger, broader chest to it now. Yeah, and when an engine's running slightly richer, you get a sense of smoothness from it, and it does feel a lot smoother now, this engine. So yeah, I'm really, really, really happy that the bike actually feels much improved. You know, the engine characteristics feel much improved since we fitted this exhaust. So that's really something I wasn't particularly expecting. I wasn't fitting the exhaust to change the performance of the bike. Just wanted to change the look of the bike. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed by the difference it's made to how this engine feels now. My guess is this is the kind of fueling that the bike would have if it wasn't for Euro 5 forcing the manufacturers to kind of strangle the engines to get them through the emissions for homologation. It does feel significantly different. I mean, now I'm in 5th gear, and normally that would have been a 4th gear corner or bend, and I can just leave it in 5th gear now and it'll just pick up so cleanly. Just a lot less of this kind of, yeah, I mean, Guerrilla owners are probably familiar with this sort of mild lugging. You know, when you've just let the engine drop off the cam and you get back on the throttle, you just get this little mild lugging unless you drop it down a gear, and I'm not getting that at all now. Look at that. Let the revs drop there quite a bit and got back on the throttle in 5th, and it was as clean as you like. It's quite, I'll tell you what, it's quite impressive actually, the difference this exhaust has made. So we've got an uphill now, 5th gear, and there's not a sense of it wanting me to change down, which it would have done before. So yeah, on the road, it's fantastic. I'm really, really impressed by it. So I love the looks, I love how it makes the bike ride. I didn't get to weigh, they didn't have any scales at the dealership. I didn't get to weigh the two exhausts, unfortunately. But to me, the Arrow exhaust and heat shield, it did feel almost a kilo lighter, would be my guess. It was significantly lighter than the OEM setup. So you're saving a little bit of weight there, which is handy, because that means next time you go to McDonald's, you can go large. And you know, you won't be any worse off performance-wise than you were before you fitted the rather expensive Arrow silencer. Yeah, this is amazing, really. This is, because I'd have just been in 4th gear here normally, revving it quite high, but just because I feel like it would, you'd get a better response out of the bends than you would in 5th. But now just coming up here in 5th feels totally natural. You can roll off the throttle, get back on the throttle, it just deals with it. So it's a thumbs up from me. I'm very impressed by it, delighted to have bought it. Now I've been told that this is actually a limited edition accessory. This silencer is certainly not listed in the main accessory catalogue, so if you're interested in getting one, I would suggest you speak to your Royal Enfield dealer, because it would appear that there's not going to be a lot of them about. But I just think it's been really worthwhile. It cost me nearly €600, which is a lot just for an end can, really. But aesthetically, it's definitely been worth it, and to my great surprise, the engine actually feels transformed. It feels a lot nicer now. So Yeah, highly recommended. Right, so I'm off home now to do some science with Ruby, so stay tuned for that. Hi there, and welcome to the Economical Rides testing laboratory, also known as my garden. So, you've seen how the exhaust looks on the bike, you've heard how the exhaust sounds on the bike, you've heard my thoughts on how it transforms the way the engine performs, and you've also heard that the Arrow silencer is significantly lighter than the OEM one. So you would think normally, you know, that's the sort of stuff that a video should cover, and we've covered it. So what are we doing here? Well, apparently for Ruby that's not enough. Ruby is intrigued to know how would each silencer function as a sort of pneumatic sausage dispenser. So she thinks that's important consumer information. So we're going to do some science with sausages, kindly donated by Ruby once again. So what we need to do to see the relative merits of each silencer as a sausage dispenser is to see what the capacity for sausages is going to be. So we're going to start off here with the OEM silencer. Now I've already eyeballed this, and I can't get 3 sausages in there. So what we've done is we've cellophane wrapped 2 sausages, and I believe this has a capacity for dispensing sausages of 2 sausages, but let's just check. So with a bit of wiggling you will get 2 sausages in there, but there's certainly no room for a third, not a chance. So pretty weak performance by the OEM silencer. It scored 2 sausages. Now I'm optimistic that the Arrow silencer actually has more sausage dispensing capacity, because it does have quite a big exit hole. Mind my language. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the bike now, because obviously it's fitted to the bike. Go over to the bike now and see what the sausage dispensing capacity of the Arrow silencer is. Let's go. Right, so I've got the meagre 2 sausages that fitted into the OEM silencer, and here we are at the Arrow silencer, and look at this. There's like loads of room. That could disappear down in there, never to be seen again. So I've just had a quick eyeball, and my feeling is that we can get another 3 sausages in here. So I'm going to put the 3 with the 2 previous. So we now have 5 sausages. Count them. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sausages. And watch this. Look at that. So basically the Arrow silencer has 150% more capacity for dispensing sausages pneumatically than the OEM silencer. So I think the OEM silencer really, you know, should be ashamed of itself. So yeah, this can dispense 150% more meaty treats pneumatically, should you decide to do so, which, you know, some people might. Awesome, right? So not only does the Arrow silencer look better, sound better, it's lighter, and it makes the bike run better, it also has a larger capacity, 150% more capacity for dispensing sausages than the OEM silencer. Now I'm sure that's important information, and that's probably a really convincing argument to go out and buy one. So there you go, Ruby. Happy with that result? Yeah, where's my sausages? I need a sausage. Yeah, you'll get a sausage in a minute, Ruby, don't worry. Nice one. Anyway, I hope you found that information useful. You know, the sausage information, obviously, everyone will find that useful, but maybe some of the other stuff as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week until the next video. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye. So, Ruby, thank you very much for lending Daddy your sausages for the purposes of your experiment. You were such a good girl, I've decided to give you one of the exhaust sausages. Here you go. Oh, tasty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on the floor, but yeah, tasty. Tasty. Exhaust sausages. Nice one.